Welcome back to Montana this morning. It is 6:47. We're taking a look at that Chicago skyline. The folks in the control room asked me, do I know which city this is? And I'm like, yeah, I do. It's Chicago. That is Willis Tower, but forever in a true Chicagoan's heart, it will be this Sears Tower. Names change after a few years. Let's go and get started with the day's news. Freezing temperatures and sub-zero wind chills are sticking around the northern United States for a few days. Wind chill warnings and advisories are in effect from the northern plains through parts of New England. The National Guard was deployed to Erie, Pennsylvania, where the city received a record snowfall of more than 5 feet this week. In Cotton, Minnesota, temps fell to 41 below zero. The winter weather has claimed a life on Montana's roadways. It appears icy roads led to a fatal rollover crash east of Livingston on Wednesday. Authorities report an SUV lost traction on I-90 and rolled. One woman was killed and a man was injured. We're told both victims were wearing seat belts. Drugs and alcohol are not considered factors in the crash. The victim is a Montana resident, but her name has not been released. And in other news, a majority of Montana residents will get a break with the new tax law. But if you're a homeowner, you could add even more savings by taking action in the next few days. One big change ahead is a cap on deductions for real estate taxes and mortgage payments. Next year, the cap will be $10,000, so it might make sense to pay your real estate taxes early.
Montana, we pay real estate taxes in arrears, and so that payment is actually paying for 2017 taxes, and federal government has said in the new law that that would be allowed to be deductible in 17.
Miller says you should also consider adding to charitable contributions before January 1st. Of all the Montana households that file federal tax returns, more than 75% will receive an income tax cut of at least $50 a year. Miller says most people will begin seeing more money in their pocket come February when new tax tables take effect. That will change the amount of money deducted each pay period. One of the biggest changes, the increased standard deduction, which almost doubles the current amount. That means next year, fewer people will itemize deductions. Now on to Crime Watch. One of 2 men accused of moving the body of a Billings murder victim plans to claim he tampered with the crime scene out of fear for his own life. The body of Rory Warner was found in August, nearly 2 months after he disappeared. Michael LeClaire and Bill Hoffert are accused of hiding Warner's body and cleaning up the blood. In recently filed court documents, LeClaire outlines his defense, saying he believed his own life was in danger if he did not move Warner's body. The murder transpired after Warner was reportedly lured into a Billings home in the Heights for a drug deal. Murder charges have yet to be filed. Only Hoffert is in custody and is being held on $700,000 bond for charges of tampering with evidence and criminal endangerment. The Montana Supreme Court will now decide if it's too late to try a man accused of raping an 8-year-old Billings girl back in 1987. The case against 57-year-old Ronald Tipton is on hold as the High Court looks into whether he can legally be charged with a decades-old rape. Tipton faces 3 counts of sexual intercourse without consent in Yellowstone County District Court. A man named Jimmy Ray Bromgard was wrongly convicted of raping the 8-year-old girl in 1987. The same advances in DNA that enabled Bromgard's exoneration in 2002 also led to charges against Tipton in 2015. The statute of limitations previously required charges to be filed within 10 years of the victim's 18th birthday, but a new law in 2007 allows charges to be filed 1 year after a positive DNA match. The state crime lab matched the DNA on the victim's clothes to Tipton in 2014 after he was convicted of a felony drug crime. Judge Mary Jane Nisley ruled that the case should go forward, but defense attorneys want the High Court to decide. Tipton is not in custody. Now we go to Glacier National Park, where a man visiting from Florida died while snowshoeing. Authorities say Park Dispatch received a call from a commercial guide on Tuesday afternoon that a client had collapsed while on a guided snowshoe walk along Fish Creek Road. Park rangers responded and continued CPR already begun by the guide. Three Rivers Ambulance and Alert Air Ambulance also responded to the scene. Efforts to resuscitate the visitor were unsuccessful. The 64-year-old man was visiting the park from Miami, Florida with family members. Elsewhere, as utilities prepare to receive benefits from federal tax reform, state regulators say they are ordering the companies to pass on those benefits to customers. Regulated utilities must figure out how much they will save under the new tax bill. Then they must create a proposal for how they will apply those savings. That could include direct refunds for ratepayers or paying for larger projects that would otherwise require rate increases. The new rules will initially apply to Northwestern Energy's electric and gas services and to Montana Dakota Utilities' electric service. Commissioners say they are one of the first regulatory bodies in the country to take this step.
We really are kind of at the tip of the spear, if you will, in terms of this approach of proactively going to the utility saying, hey, there's going to be a chunk of money here that you guys are going to have to do something with. We're going to insist you do it in a way that benefits the ratepayers.
PSC staff says it will take several months to determine the full effect on Montana utilities. Now back here in Billings, some changes could be underway for Zimmerman Trail, but the Montana Department of Transportation wants your opinion first. It's seeking public comment on a plan to reconstruct 1 mile of Zimmerman Trail and build a roundabout at the top of the hill at the intersection of Highway 3. The purpose of the project is to improve safety and mobility of the roadway and extend the life of Zimmerman Trail. Construction is tentatively planned for 2018, depending on completion of design and availability of funds. The changes will mean the closure of Zimmerman Trail to through traffic and a temporary detour on Highway 3. Construction is expected to last about 3 months. And our last story for you this Thursday morning, it's Good Riddance Day in New York's Times Square. Locals and tourists are invited to shred bad memories from 2017. And looking ahead to 2018, workers put the final touches on the New Year's Eve ball yesterday. Waterford Crystal's theme this year is the gift of serenity. And I think anyone who has to work outside will say good riddance to this cold weather we're having.
Absolutely.